Kevin, tell me about the similarities of these stories that we're talking about here that make you think this is at least a group of individuals that might be perpetrating these crimes.
These are young, highly intelligent, very athletic young men that disappear after a night of drinking very suspiciously. Most of them have GHB, which is a date rape drug used for women for sexual assaults, whereas men aren't usually taking these drinks. How did this drug wind up in the body? Incapacitated them. They have injuries. They're held for a period of time because there's no decomposition on the body for the amount of time that they're missing, and then they're deposited in bodies of water to be recovered later, drowned. But most of them doesn't even have water in their lungs. So how do you have a drowning if there's no water in the lungs? So.
Okay, well, let's talk about that for a minute. And guys, I'm very sorry to talk about some of these details, but we're wanting to shine a bright light on this, so forgive me of being indelicate about talking about some of these things. You're talking about a real gap in the state of how the body should be for the period of time that it has supposedly been in the water, for example.
Correct.
What's the most stark example of that?
2 days.
Well, probably Brian Wellesley, 77 days missing, and even though the water was cold, he had very little decomposition on his body. If these young men were put into the water at the time that they went missing, we wouldn't be here today. We're not that good detectives. We couldn't tell that. The body would be decomposed. But when you look at a body that's missing for 77 days or 40 days or 12 days, and they have 1 day of decomposition or 2 days of decomposition, it's a clear red flag. There's something as amiss here. And that's how we were able to put it together. They were definitely held alive for extended periods of time with some type of mental and possibly even physical torture, though we haven't seen any signs of sexual torture yet. And then they were murdered and deposited in the water.
Do you believe that a serial killer murdered your son?
Definitely.
You think it was a serial killer?
One or more.
And how many are you focused on? We have 6 here, but how many total?
Out of the 350 plus cases we have now, there's 200 that we can connect to our group and 100 that we can prove that were murdered.
Well, this is a massive situation here if what you're saying is true. But this isn't being talked about much. Is it because A, there's not communication between the different departments, and B, they're being written off as accidental?
Both.
Or undetermined?
Undetermined, both, yes.
The biggest problem we have is, first step is, before what group, what this, what that, how many guys are involved in the abduction, it's got to be classified as a criminal case. They got to be reclassified as criminal cases, or at least being handled as a criminal investigation, and they're not.
And if they're not, then there are no resources committed to the case, and so they just languish.
Precisely.